यार मुझसे ना हो पाएगा. Oh God, I'm not a good writer. I have never written content since my childhood. How can I be a content writer? Now, these are some of the biggest questions asked to me by my students in the community. But well, I would say these are just your own mental roadblocks. Hey ladies and gentlemen, namaskar. My name is Jayant Kumar and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to break some barriers of content writing. So, if you want to write good content, then keep watching this video till the end. And before you go ahead, subscribe to my channel. You know, I've worked hard and I'd love your love. So, see you after the music. So, as I mentioned, that a lot of people asked me, like, Jayant bhai, how to write good content because I have not written a word since, I don't know, my kindergarten. I don't know, some people say after my graduation, it's been 10 years that I have written anything. Well, to all of those people who ask this question, you may be one of them. My answer is that's a goddamn lie. Why? Because writing content is more like, swimming. Once you learn how to swim, you never forget how to swim. But if you want to be good at swimming, you definitely need some practice. And that's all there is to content writing. People who practice well, they write great content. Not just good content, great content. Okay? Now, how do you write great content? Well, great content comes with great research. Now, how do you do good research? Most people think that good research is just Googling stuff and reading the top 15 blog posts and repurposing the content. That cannot be further from the truth. Good research means delving into the customer's mind. It just means that you need to understand the customer very, very well, so well that your content relates to them. And that's how you need to write it. So now I'm going to share a Word doc with you, basically what I do to do the research. So we will also do a quick research on a particular topic, and so that you also get a glimpse of how I do it. Normally this process takes me kind of maybe an hour or two, but for the purpose of this particular video, we'll keep it short. All right. So this is the basic process of my entire content research, and this is what you need to follow. All right. It's very simple. You just need to answer a couple of questions, and once you answer all of these, you will be unstoppable. All right. So let's get started. The first step is to pick a topic, right? Usually, if you are a freelancer, this topic is given to you by your client. If not, you do your own research, right? So for example, let's go ahead and search for, like, let's go and get into my own blog, all right, which is ecommelement.com. And in this blog, I've been very proud of this particular topic because I really did a very good research on a topic of finding a good domain name for the online business. So, all right. Oops, my pop-up pops up. All right. So, how to book a kick-ass domain name for your online business. So basically, this is the title that I have, created. But essentially, the topic is, basically, how to pick a domain name, right? That's basically it. I just added kick-ass so that it sounds very kick-ass, so that's pretty much it. That's it. I'll cover creating titles in a very separate video, but in this video we'll just stick to content outline. Okay, now before we go ahead, we need to define what we are going to accomplish through this particular article, right? What we are going to accomplish, not our customer. And that is very important because you need to define your own goals first, right? So your own goals may be, search traffic, to gain search traffic. If you're writing a product review, goal can also be, let's say, affiliate, link clicks. So basically you have to write down your own goals because that helps clarify things. If you are writing an affiliate article, there is a certain structure of writing it. If you are writing for Google search, it's a Q&A kind of topic, then it has a certain structure. Okay, now depending on the structure, the wordings vary, the authoritativeness vary, and also the quality of the article varies like vastly different. The quality of the articles becomes very, very different just with the objective of it, right? So I hope that was clear. Next, you need to understand the customer who is reading. Now, a person who is reading this particular blog, he has not started an online business yet, right? So they're looking forward to buy an online business. So in such a case, what I would do is, who is the audience? So we have just answered the question. The audience, the perfect audience, perfect or ideal reader is planning to start an online store and wants help in branding and naming the store, because store names are very important, right? What problem they have? Wait, what problem do they have? They are unable to find good domain names, or they want to know how to book good domain names for their business and are unable to find good domain names. So this is a problem that we solve. Now, what do they accomplish by the end of an article? A clear guidance through which they find good domain names for their online business. Simple. All right. Now, after doing this particular research, I mean, this is basically kind of a brainstorming, but if you are a part of a community, or if you have an audience base, you can directly ask what problem exactly do they have, why that problem occurs, and depending on their answers, you can literally modify your content, right? Now, next part is to understand your competitor, right? We understood ourselves, okay, what we want to accomplish. Then we understood our customer. Now is the time to understand the competitor. Now this is very important. Oops. Let's go ahead and search this particular topic in Google. Now is the time to Google it. All right. How to pick a domain name. Now I see how to choose the best domain name. We can just open a bunch of competitors who are ranking on top already, or domains.google is already ranking. So I don't hope to outrank this, but well, we can definitely outrank someday, right? Search engine journal. Okay, so there are many articles on how to pick the right domain name, right? Now you can just go ahead and see what kind of, basically answer these questions. Okay. This question, like, who are some of the top competitors ranking for the same keyword? In here, basically, you have to like paste your competitor's URL. That is more than enough. Like, just go ahead to the competitor's URL and copy it, come back and paste it. Done. All you have to do is that. Very simple. All right, theme style, domains.google. They're trying to, sell their domain name service. So this is GoDaddy. These are all big names. Now, I was planning to niche down to online stores, online businesses, who are into e-commerce and stuff like that. So maybe I can also target people who are into e-commerce. But anywho, like, the concepts are always the same. So you can just note them down just like this. As simple as that. Cool. This guy has written 22 essential tips for choosing the best possible domain name for a website. Nice. Now, the problem here is, like, people are writing listicles, people are writing, Q&A type videos, people are writing Q&A type of articles. There are many ways of doing it, right? And definitely there is some sort of, there is a certain level of listicalness in here. But the most important fact in this particular scenario is how helpful it is, right? But when it comes to when it comes to answering how helpful it is in reality, well, you need to see that how user friendly this content is, right? He has really mentioned everything that is there to mention, but there is no category. Okay, so you basically need to read through. I have read through all of these. I kind of understood what was the thing, and I wrote the content, which is like how to book a kick-ass domain name. Now, there nobody have answered what is the domain name. I think this is one of the gap in the contents, and also like they have not put it simply. I have literally added a very good example of how domain name works. I have added I have added an Apple example in the domain name and how these IP addresses work and how this domain name works. All of these things I actually had an expert friend of mine give advice on it. So I actually have I have a question here. So I basically need to add this here. Do I need expert help? Just uh, put yes. If you put yes, so you basically have a reminder that you need to ask somebody for a help. So this is what I do. If there is some aspects of it that I don't understand, what I do is I try to go ahead and contact experts in the field who know this stuff, right? So as a content writer, I may not be an expert in every field, but I definitely can know these people. And how to contact these people is simply go to LinkedIn and talk to them. Hey, I am writing an article on domain name selection, and I don't know how this domain name servers, and this IP addresses work. Can you please give me a little bit of tip? So what these guys are do, like 100% of the cases, I know that these guys are excellent people and they're always eager to help. So reach out to people, do your research. This is how a journalist thinks. And when you are writing content, you are no different than a journalist, right? Technically, just think about it. So cool. As long as that is clear, you basically have to write in this particular question how they are writing. It can be like a friendly tone, some simple language, authoritativeness is displayed by the amount of research that they have done, right? So basically that's you have to observe how they are writing, what kind of language they're using, where they're bolding paragraphs, what kind of images they're using. This article is only added this, only one image here, next, and they have a video. So they're also adding videos here. So basically all of those you can write what kind of article that they are writing. So this can be Q&A type, listicle, informative. So Q&A and informative are kind of same thing. We can also write that they are not promoting any products. This is one of the things. Now, what is the data, fact, figure, or statistics that they are using? So for this, you need to just go ahead and read through it. You might find some good statistics somewhere, right? Usually people add some sort of statistics to make it better. For example, like this, many users, this is not a big statistics, but you definitely find some sort of statistics usually. This can be like price of domain name generators, how much does it take, this is very, very simple steps works. And this is one of the statistics that they can put like, this is not essentially statistics. You can also say that some of them also add infographics, okay, screenshots. You can also add that, there are no statistics, but definitely screenshots of domain name providers. Also like what else are they adding? We can also add infographics, right? Infographics about how domain name works. This is something that we can add. Our competitors have not added, just to remind when we are writing. Wow, this is good things to avoid. This I should have added in my blog. 10 tips. Okay, keep it short, target your geographic area, maps basically, but that becomes too wide, I guess. This is nice. This is an infographic, right? This is what you call an infographic. So let's see. I don't see any more statistics anywhere. And this is good. This is an infographic. See, they have added domain name. Very beautiful. Definitely, we can add this some sort of this kind of stuff here. They're also adding this, screenshots. This is a graphic infographic that we can use, right? This is another infographic that we can use. Miller's law, very detailed content. Yeah, I mean, I should actually repurpose this particular question. See, there is statistics, right? Mobile website traffic, right? Mobile website traffic. Let's do this. Mobile website traffic data. That's what they are doing. Kinsta has very good research. They're like one of my favorites. Add keywords. Again, keywords related infographics. These are some of the things that you may need to, you know, add to your own blog. So again, see, so many infographics. This is a very ideal uh, competitor. We should definitely learn something from them. So where is Kinsta? I need to bold these guys and maybe put them in a different color, or a different shade, so that whenever I come back, they are like my go-to blog first to read them out. Okay, this is done. Search engine journal. Let's go. Business domain name that matches your business name. Okay, cool. This is, oh, so many pop-ups. Don't use hyphens in domain names. Good. These are basically like do's and don'ts of buying a domain name. Oh, this is good. Country code, top level domain. Very nice. Excellent. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This, I think we have explored enough. So ideally, you need to read through the entire blog post so that you get a good idea on how exactly your competitors have written, and site idea. I mean, if you have some other idea that you can incorporate here, for example, I would say key add some domain name generator tools. And this could be an affiliate, this could not be an affiliate. It's totally up to you. Usually domain name generators are free of cost, so why affiliate, right? So, this is one of my side ideas. So if you have any side idea, you can write it here. And this is pretty much it. Done a pretty good research now. Who are the competitors, how they are writing, and now what you need to do is you need to write better than your competitors, right? I think I need to learn a lot from Kinsta right now. But when I was writing this, I did a pretty good research and I wrote how, the best things about picking a domain name hacks, and how exactly to pick a domain name, how to create new words with consonants and vowels, and then how to use domain name generators and many other things, right? This is something that I have added back then. I may need to update this. Now, next part is to create a structure, right? A structure is basically your blogs. How should I put it? The headlines basically, right? What are the headlines? So the first headline could be, the title could be this: how to book a kick-ass domain name for your online business, right? So that we can have a title. We can keep it like that. So these things, like you basically review your competitors, and you also put your own brain into it. You also pick your own brain into it and see like whether this is a good idea. And if it is a good idea, definitely you will add it into the blog. For example, I thought, what is the domain name? To explain how the domain names work is an important aspect of it. So I added, and why is it important and why is it not? So I wanted to write like, why is the domain name important? But that did not sound too cool. So I just wanted to sound cool. That's why I added that. And then 5 things to consider. So I usually write like this. I won't write 5 things to consider. I would write X things to consider, right? Next would be like, kick-ass domain name hacks. Again, here I would change it to like X. This X can be anything. Cool. And I guess in the end, there is a wrap up and conclusion, right? Now, these are the main headings of your basically the blog. Now, once the main headings are created, next you have to create the subheadings, right? X things to consider while picking up the domain name. These things can be studied from your competitors. Maybe hire an expert who knows this stuff. This was a pretty easy topic. I did not need to hire any expert, but I just called a friend of mine who knew all this networking and domain name stuff. So I just asked him some help, and he taught me how exactly domain name works, why people pick the domain names that they pick, and all these things. Plus, there is this thing should pass the phone test. It's basically like when you call somebody and you tell the domain name to that guy, you should not need to like tell him or her the entire spelling of your domain name, right? So that is kind of counterproductive, because that wastes time and people tend to forget the domain names. So basically, these are some of the tricks, tips, and hacks that I have added by studying the competitors, by talking to experts. And once this particular part is ready, this might take a while. I mean, I have written the article, hence I'm just copy pasting the sub headlines as well. So in terms of hierarchy, I have added, basically these are like the title is H1 heading, then this is H2, then here it is H3, again H2, H3, H4. I have arranged this. I just have written it earlier, and hence I thought to just copy paste it. But if you're starting to write it, it's better to like observe your competitors, how they are structuring it. And once you're done with it, you can finalize it. You can pick which parts to write and which part not to write. And once this particular structure is ready, it becomes so much easy for you to go ahead and write the article. And now when you have the entire structure ready in front of you, you will not feel like, okay, I mean, I'm not good at writing content or whatever, because you have a roadmap ready, literally, right? So you just have to learn about what is domain name part by part and explain about stuff. It's that easy. And this is how you write a good content. This research, this little bit of research that you do now becomes a very good content later. So to wrap everything up, what you need to do is you need to define some objectives first. Whether you are looking for search traffic, whether you're looking for affiliate incomes or what, right? So you need to define that. If you next, you need to understand the customer, who is the audience, what problem do they have, what do they accomplish by the end of the article, right? That is something that is very crucial. Next, you need to understand the competitor, how they are writing, who they are, who they are, how they are writing, and what kind of article they have writing, what is the tone of the article, what kind of data, facts, figure, or statistics they have been using, or if you have any other side idea that you can add into the that you can add into the blog, great. Okay, you can totally go for that. Next, you need to define whether you need an expert help or not. In case of affiliate products, sometimes you may need an expert, or you may even need to like buy that product, bring it to your house and use it literally with your hands, and then write an article. That makes it very, very powerful. So define the kind of research that you need to do, right? Next, you need to create the structure of your blog, where you write down the title, write down the different headings. This gives you a very clear roadmap on what exactly to write. And this structure, my friends, is what is going to make you a better marketer and a better content writer. So I hope that was helpful. If that was, go ahead and put it in the comments and let me know what you think. And definitely subscribe to my channel, because I love your love, right? So see ya.